Hey, what's up, Crypto Army? I'm Travis, your crypto newbie, bringing you my experiences so you don't have to learn things the hard way. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor, and none of my content should be viewed as financial advice. If you like what my channel offers, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications so you get notified of new content when I publish it. It also really helps get the content to others that might find it helpful. Now, I'm going to deviate a little bit from what I had initially planned on doing. My next video is going to be on something completely different, but today I decided I'm going to do Aleph 0. And you can see its website here. I'm putting it up on the screen for you. It is a new blockchain that's coming out. It's not often that you find out about things before they release. Fortunately, we're in that situation where we've got a public offering starting on September 28th for Aleph 0. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what Aleph 0 is, what their use case is, and some of the fundamentals so that you can make your decision on whether you're interested in investing in Aleph 0. I've been following them for a couple years. I think it's a great blockchain. It has a lot of potential for the future. Hopefully you agree. I don't have anything invested. I'm not getting paid for this video. I found that just through some Google searches trying to find out what the next blockchains that might be interesting to invest in, and I thought you guys might like it as well. So here we go. So as I already kind of said, on September 28th, Aleph 0 is going to have its public token sale. Price will be 10 cents for the public sale. The pre-seed sale back in 2018 was for 4 cents. I didn't buy any back in 2018. I haven't bought any yet. Before I go deeper into the public sale, though, I'm going to try to explain the massive project to you and make sure you can understand where to go to find more information. So all of the links I'm going to show you today are going to be in the bottom of the description. Feel free to ask me any questions in the description. There aren't a lot of YouTube videos out there on Aleph 0 right now. But there is a ton of information on their website. It's one of the better websites I've seen for a new crypto project, and I think you'll agree. They did a phenomenal job with it. This team is remarkable when we start going through this. So stay around, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the public offering. I'll show you the websites and get you through all that as well. So a one-sentence explanation for Aleph 0 and what they're trying to do. So Aleph 0, their foundation is overseeing the development of the novel Aleph 0 blockchain, a peer-reviewed, energy-efficient, open-source DLT ecosystem focused on scalability, security, privacy, and interoperability. They have a couple other ways to explain what they're working on. That was the most concise one. I think that's the easiest for most people to understand. Let's dig in a little bit for it. You guys are going to be pretty impressed with this particular crypto. First, let's talk about what does Aleph 0 stand for? Why Aleph 0? It doesn't even have a meaning. This was the team's approach at demonstrating that the team has a science and math foundation. And when we start looking at the team, you'll see they've got a solid science and math foundation. Aleph 0 is basically where Aleph numbers are used for cardinality of effect, in particular infinite sets. There are two sets of infinity, the natural and the real numbers. Aleph 0 is the infinite number. I make no claim that I understand all of that entirely, but it's a way for the team to speak to a specific group to say, we have a math and a science background and we're developing this blockchain for you, for everybody. And we'll get through some of the, who's their target is one of the fundamentals when we look at this. But it's a pretty impressive name that they put a lot of thought in why they named it that way. I didn't completely understand the math and the science, and I like math and science, but I hadn't heard of most of those terms, so maybe you have. Don't ask me any questions about the meaning. Hit up the team itself if you have questions about that, because I can't help you with that. All right, so time for my fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis focuses on the underlying value of the crypto. It's not necessarily a technical analysis, or I'm not going to get any technicals, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't, because this particular crypto it's not for sale yet. There's no market capitalization to look at. There's no number of holders. There's no lines I can add to a graph, right? So this is it doesn't have that yet. So there's no possibility of doing a technical analysis. But the goal of a fundamental analysis is to obviously make sure that the project is not going to be rug pull, right? We don't want to lose our money when we invest in these things. There's no guarantees that you're not going to lose your money, but we try to do our best to weed out the projects that are more likely to cause a rug pull or to get hacked and you to lose all your money. And two is, what is the intrinsic value to the investor? And ideally, to businesses out there so that they invest as well, right? You know, a lot of cryptos these days, it's about you and I investing. It's not necessarily businesses investing, although some of them they are. You've got Robinhood adopting different cryptos. You've got Webull adopting different cryptos. So there are trading platforms out there from a business sense that are investing in these projects and putting them on their profile or on their platforms. But so let's dig into the company team first, right? So on this website, their Meet Us, you can take a look at the team, and you can actually look at some of the careers for them. Again, that's a pretty good sized team for a project that started in 2018 and is just now in 2021 getting ready to do their public release, which indicates they put a lot of time into this project to make sure they got it right, right? But look at these: PhD, 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 PhD. That's pretty impressive for a project. How many other projects that you can think of have that many PhDs on their team? Any? Here's the thing that I look for more importantly. I can see a picture. I can see a name. I know I can look these people up. And I did. I looked up a couple of them. They've got profiles out there. And you can do your own due diligence, make sure that you do the investigation yourself. You know, don't just rely on what I'm telling you. But I took a look at a couple of these. They've got some pretty good backgrounds. And again, you can see them. And there's a couple YouTube videos out there where they actually sit down and do interviews, and it's the same person as the name on the YouTube video. So they're fully out there. They stand by their project. That counts a lot for me. I have a hard time investing in a project where they're not willing to show me their face. I mean, if you stand by what you're building, wouldn't you want your face associated with it? Or are you concerned that your project isn't going to do as well as you think, or is going to be a rug pull, or is going to get hacked, or it does have some issues that could potentially cost investors their money? You know, Shiba Inu, I love the token. I'm going to do a video on Shiba Inu in the future here. You know, I've got money invested in it, but I don't have nearly as much money as I would put into something like this where I can see the team. I have more trust that I can see this team than I would in Shiba Inu, and they're doing pretty good. You know, they've gone a long way in the time that they've been put up there. This team I can see. And I can see that they've got a strong development team. And I can see that they've got these blockchain developers. And I can go look them up. And some of them have pretty strong backgrounds in blockchain development. But that's for you to determine. That's not for me to tell you that, you know, Jan, I'm not going to even attempt to butcher the name, but that this person's got a background that you would trust. You have to go do that research. Based on my research, and not a financial advice and not a financial advisor, this team seems legit. They've got a solid company team, they got a solid development team, and they got a pretty strong grouping of members as well. One thing you will notice based on just the names alone, a lot of these team members are not in the US. So the vast majority of this team is based out of Poland. There are some members from the US, but a good chunk of this particular team is overseas. So it's good information to be aware of as well. Not necessarily relevant to a fundamental analysis, but it's good context, right? So you might have to take a look at, you know, what are the laws and rules in Poland? Or I think this particular company is actually based out of Switzerland. What are the laws in Switzerland for running crypto? Is that going to be something that you have to worry about here in the US? I don't think it is. I didn't see anything when I did my Google research, but maybe you do, and if you do, leave some information in the comments. Good sized team, solid backgrounds. This is a team that I could trust based off of what I'm seeing. It's way more information than the average crypto that you're going to see out there. And I think we can all agree on that. So what about the use case? All right, so let's go to Explore, and they've actually got use cases. So let's go take a look at them. All right, so what do they aim to solve? Right, so we can read up here. It says aims to solve the blockchain trilemma. Well, what is the trilemma? Right, so if anybody's been tracking anything, there's three main issues that affect most cryptos: decentralization, scalability, and security. Security, we keep seeing rug pulls all over the place. We see them get hacked, right? But traditionally, regardless of what blockchain you're talking about or which token or which coin, something's got to give. You can't have the most secure blockchain in the world and still be scalable, right? Or you can't be fully decentralized and still be secure. So something's got to give. And their goal is to solve that trilemma, to have a secure, scalable, and decentralized blockchain. So Ethereum, let's take a look at Ethereum as an example. Their issues are because of scalability. That's what they're trying to solve for. Very secure, decentralized, but not very scalable. So they're trying to fix that. Now you've been watching the screen here, so you can see they've got a whole bunch of other use cases. They're trying to, they're working on bridges. They work through private smart contracts. They've got a DEX that they're working on. File storage capabilities within their blockchain. They want to be, as far as their blockchain, pretty impressive. And this is actually one of the things that brought me looking for them, because I was trying to find, okay, so credit card transactions and the ecosystem for that system is massive. So when you swipe your credit card, it's nearly instantaneous. I mean, there's a software delay. You might have to wait a couple minutes or a couple seconds for the thing to come back as approved, but it's pretty quick. It's not like some of the other networks where you're waiting 40 minutes for verification of the transaction. So that's one of the things that they were trying to work on with this project, is the speed. And I don't think it's necessarily something you're going to see in this part of the screen. It's someplace else. It advertises 100,000 transactions per second. I watched a recent interview where they said that in testing, they were able to get 89,000 transactions per second for 300 bytes for each of the transactions. 416 milliseconds for confirmation. And the test was across 5 continents, 7 nodes, and 7 different AWS regions. So it's a very robust test just to see what is their transactions, what's the transaction rate that they can achieve theoretically. Now, in real world, are they going to necessarily get there? I don't know. We'll find out when they launch, I guess, and it becomes more adopted. But that's impressive. That's way faster than most cryptos that are out there, or most blockchains are out there. And do some research, and you'll find that's pretty quick. Even Solana, I want to say that this is faster than Solana. And I was really impressed when I read about Solana. So, but do your research. My research says that's pretty quick. And that's a good selling point for this, or intrinsic value. That's one of the selling parts for this. So we'll talk about the white paper. Now, the white paper is interesting. All right, so here's the white paper. Now, I'm not going to go in depth into this, but I have to tell you, this is one of the more robust white papers that I've read. I'll be honest, I've never read anything quite like it. It's 34 pages, and it's incredibly dense. There's a good chunk of it that I did not completely understand. Now, take a look at some other white papers that are out there, or these days we see light papers that have almost no information. Run from anything that says light paper. If it can't do the due diligence to do an actual white paper, run away. It's got a good chance of being a rug pull. Now, this 34-page doctoral, I mean, it looks like a doctoral thesis. That's what I initially thought when I see an abstract, I see an introduction, keywords, I see a table of contents. And then if you scroll down here, you're going to very quickly see there is a ton of math. And I'm not a math guy, but I'm glad that these guys understand the code and understand the math that goes into the code. So there's a ton of information about Aleph 0 in this white paper, right? It goes towards the credibility of the team that they could write this, and it's a peer review. I mean, look at all the different references they include. This is an impressive white paper, but it's not a layman's white paper. If I had one suggestion to the team, is that they should come out with a white paper that's for the average person. This is way more. This is definitely going to sell it to businesses. This is going to sell it to scientists that are out there that are looking for ways to incorporate blockchain technology into what they do. It's probably going to appeal to a math person that can understand all these equations. It's been too long since I had to do anything with math. So if my recommendation to the team is to come up with a dumbed down version of their white paper, because I don't think that most of us are going to get anything out of this. And I did get some stuff out of it, but it is a massive white paper. So if the team is watching, my recommendation, come down with a dumbed up version of this that the average person can read. Let's take a look at the roadmap. Much easier to understand than the white paper. So we go to Explore, and we've got the roadmap. Now, you can see they've got a roadmap. There are some projects out there that have zero plan for where they're going to take this thing. Run away. We as investors control what products that we're getting. If we continue to invest in crappy projects and losing money, they're going to continue, people that want to take advantage of you are going to continue to make crappy projects for you to invest in. Guarantee it. Because as long as there's a market that they know somebody's going to invest in it, why wouldn't you, right? So if they're not going to reveal who they are, if they're not going to come up with a good white paper and put the time into it, or if they're not even going to put a roadmap out there, why would you take them seriously? And that's where the fundamentals are essential. No matter where you're talking about as far as a crypto. Now in this particular crypto, obviously there's certain things we just can't talk about, right? I can't tell you how many holders there are, market cap. I can't tell you. There's a whole bunch of things I can't tell you because it just doesn't exist. But they have a roadmap. And right now they're working on bridges to Ethereum, fully asynchronous, and liminal. But yes, they're working on bridges between the different blockchains. And we can take this out, right? Now, again, talking to the team, you're coming up on the end of the year, you might want to put in some effort to expand this thing off. My biggest complaint with a lot of different blockchains and a lot of different projects out there is they don't take the time to update their website with where they are. So what's complete? Anybody tell me what's complete on this? Right? So come through and show that you've completed these tasks. Show that you're actually making effort. And this goes into the fundamental analysis. Should you invest in this project? They have a roadmap, but are they actually accomplishing the roadmap? Are they getting things done on time? And I don't have the answer to that. So Aleph 0, development team, web developer, put an answer to that question because your investors want to know. I think you should want to know. I know I want to know what's done. So I did see that they did the test launch, but again, they have a roadmap. So that's way more than I can say for a lot of projects. Now, what is their target, right? What is their target market for the launch of this particular product? They've got a layer of privacy built in to their system that caters specifically to the businesses. Now, not all business information is for public consumption. So if you're a business and you want to use blockchain technology, there's a lot of theories out there that blockchain technology might be the new internet someday. Like that, it's so multifaceted and so capable that it's potentially blockchain technology could replace the internet. All right. So if that's possible, as a company, you still need to have the ability to keep certain information inside the company. Not everything needs to be visible to everybody that's out there. So that's one of the things that Aleph 0 is trying to fix. They're trying to make it so that there's a privacy layer where they can actually do transactions, and that's where the private smart contracts come into, where people can't necessarily see those business transactions. They can see the transactions that the public can see, but they can't see some of the business transactions that the public just doesn't need to see that stuff. So that's who they're catering to, but it's for everybody. So one of the things that just some other things to help inform your decision on whether you want to put money towards this. What is going to be the fees associated with Aleph 0 if you're trying to buy something? With one of the recent videos that they did, they mentioned near free. Pennies is what they're expecting the fees to be. Now they can't give you a specific number, but that's what they're aiming for. Nearly free for fees. They're also saying, and this is kind of cool, the longer you hold on to it, the more free transactions you get. Now, if it's already free, that might not necessarily be a big selling thing for you, but if you're a business and every transaction that you're doing costs money, then free is nice. Especially if you've got and again, they didn't release any information on how much, how long, how do you get those free transactions? Once they have some more, we should next month, I would say next week when they launch, we should know more about that information, assuming that they actually do the public launch. They just did a recent interview and they said it's really close, but they weren't allowed to say the date. And then I want to say it was like next day or 2 days later, they released information saying, yes, it's the 28th. So that's the fundamental analysis of Aleph 0. I think it's an impressive token. By all means, take a look at the links in the description and make your own determination on whether you agree. Now let's talk about the actual public sale announcement. And again, this link will be in the description, so you can go take a look at it yourself. But here is the public sale announcement. So again, September 28th. And you can kind of see some of the background information on here. There is a requirement, so if you click on here to know your customer, it'll take you to the Contribute website where you fill in their information there, and that's where you can actually get your name on the list to essentially buy next week. Now, some of the other information that I mentioned earlier in the video, price of 10 cents, that's what they're going with for the public. They, as the core team for the pre-seed, went at 4 cents back in 2018. You can also see some of the numbers. So the max supply here is going to be 100 million for the initial token supply. And then you can see that there was 2 million in pre-seed, 2.9 million in seed, and there's going to be 9.9 million for pre-sale and public sale. So you can read all about this. Just go to the website. This was kind of interesting right here. So some of the limitations. I was surprised to see the US on there. But that's their public sale announcement. And again, I will put that link into the description. All right, so here, if you click on that link, this is what you're going to land at as far as the public announcement and public sale. Again, this link will be in the description as well. Or you can just go to the Aleph 0 website. Or I take that back, not the Aleph 0's website. If you go on Twitter, their Twitter feed is where you find the information on the public sale. It may be on their website. I wasn't looking specifically for that when I was putting this video together. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I review the comments, so make sure to leave any suggestions, requests, or questions you might have in the comments. If there are any topics you want me to dive deeper into, definitely let me know. I'll put all the links that I referenced in this video in the description. There are some affiliate links down there. I do get a small commission that helps me fund the development of this channel when you sign up for my affiliate links. So please show support for my channel by clicking the links when you sign it up. Now that's not the Aleph 0 links that I put down there. You'll notice those links are just straight to the websites. No affiliate information added to those links. I've also provided promo codes for small discounts on the affiliate links when possible. My next video is going to be on some crypto websites that I find helpful, and you might also help you locate good information and different resources that are out there. Just a reminder, if you found my content helpful, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And it might help you catch my content if you turn on notifications so you get notified when I post new material. Until next time, stay strong with those diamond hands.